let's address Tim Tebow. Stephen A. Smith, this is no shock to me that Tim Tebow was cut by the Jets today. We all expected it. It's no shock to anybody. I want to state for the record, I am ecstatic. I am so happy. I am so relieved for one Tim Tebow that he is freed from the chaos that became the New York Jets last year. I can't imagine how you could take a nicer kid than Tim Tebow and do such wrong to him. He was duped from the start. He was lied to by Rex Ryan and company. He was misled into believing, which is why he picked the Jets, that he would have a 50-50 shot of winning the job over Mark Sanchez. I believe, given that shot, he would have won that job. And then he was sabotaged by given 4 or 5 plays, none of which were in his wheelhouse. Duped and sabotaged, not by mean-spirited New York Jets people, because they're just inept, Stephen A. It's not like this was calculated. We've got to do evil to Tim Tebow. That's not what happened. They're just not very good. They're an inept organization, and he paid the price for it. So I'm happy he's now on the open market because he can be a successful starting quarterback in this league. And I'm going to throw this out one more time. The place he belongs is the place that didn't draft a quarterback on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had all kinds of shots. You can do first round. You can do, they had top of the second round, the first pick in the second pick in the third, and the fourth pick in the fourth. And even in the fourth round, they could have had Nassib or Tyler Wilson or Landry Jones. Any of those could have been a Jacksonville Jaguar, but they chose to stand pat with Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne. The GM is on record, as you know, Stephen A. is saying he has no interest, the new GM, in Tim Tebow. The owner in the past, a couple of times, has expressed public interest in bringing the hometown kid back to the hometown. I still say it's very possible that Tim Tebow could be and should be a Jacksonville Jaguar, and that he will eventually start and succeed in this league again, just the way he did in Denver.
Skip Bayless, I've thought long and hard about this subject over these last few hours, and I'm going to be your friend here, and I'm going to put something I'm just going to put something out there because I want you to have the floor to explain yourself to what I'm about to accuse you of. And I want you to explain it to a lot of Tebow critics out there.
Have you been reading Twitter again? I know she has. Go ahead.
No, seriously, I have not. I'm very serious about this because, Skip, the boy can't throw. And that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Well,
the other
I
thing
haven't heard
about
that
it,
before.
Skip,
go ahead.
Right. The other thing I think, Skip, is that I think it's to the point where if Tim Tebow doesn't resign himself to the fact that he's going to have to play a different position, that he's going to be out of the NFL because nobody's going to want him as a quarterback. Which brings me to you. Because, Skip Bayless, I believe that you deserve the opportunity to answer to critics out there, and particularly NFL pundits, commentators, etc. And I just heard this from Chris Mortensen this morning on Mike and Mike when he pointed out how nobody's going to want Tim Tebow because they don't want the circus to come in town. The executives, the coaches, having their things scrutinized on an elevated level because they consider Tim Tebow a circus. By that, they mean the media scrutiny. By that, they mean ESPN, obviously being a culprit to some degree, along with other networks. Skip, if we are a culprit, meaning the network, I have to look at you because you love this guy. You believed in him. You were ahead of the curve. You told us, to your credit, you told us he's going to win a playoff game. You told us that he just had the it factor. You pointed out how you said he'd never make a Pro Bowl. You were right. You were right. Actually, I give you credit for that because I certainly didn't see that from him. So I'm not knocking you for that. And I know, and I speak for you as your friend by saying you never had malicious intent. You just believed in the kid and you were unapologetic about it. But, Skip, people are saying that created the circus. And the circus is what they don't want They don't even give Tim Tebow a chance to. It's almost like they don't even give him a chance to really look at his football skills objectively because they're still worried about the circus. What does Skip Bayless have to say to those out there who believe that the circus-type atmosphere is primarily your fault?
Okay, first of all, I don't love Tim Tebow personally. I have no personal relationship with him whatsoever.
I understand.
I do believe in him as a football player, as a winning quarterback who can do it his way, unconventionally. The way I saw at Florida, the way I saw him beat my Oklahoma Sooners in the national championship game. Stephen A., Tim Tebow created the circus when he took over the 1-4 Broncos and won 7 of his next 8 games. Wouldn't that create a national circus? You're giving us a lot of power here on this platform, right? If you say it's that we did it here on this show, really? I mean, as much as I love this show and believe in the show, how could we create that? Tim did it himself. He beat the Pittsburgh Steelers' #1 ranked defense. He had, in the last 4 minutes of NFL games, in his first year as a starting quarterback, he had the #1 QBR in all of pro football in the last, I think it's 5 minutes of those games. He created the circus, Stephen A. How many comebacks did he pull off? How many miracles did he make? You kept saying, he touches you and you too shall be healed. I don't know how he did it. He just did it. And he did it. And he did it again. So the circus got created. I did predict the circus, if you will. We certainly drove the bandwagon. We were way ahead of that curve. But I do agree with your premise. Yeah, well, this show was. But I do agree with your premise. The country, the world is so fascinated by Tim Tebow. How does he do it? That the attention that he draws is nuclear. So wherever he goes, as you say, it's going to attract nuclear media coverage. It did in training camp with the Jets. Our show didn't go, but a lot of other people went. So I agree. But does somebody want to win football games? I'm going to stand by what I said at midseason and kept saying all the rest of the year. There were, I can't remember what I counted up, 12 or 14 teams who would have been better off last year with Tim Tebow as their starting quarterback. Not because I love him. I'm just talking about, do you want to win or not? If you can't take the heat of the circus, fine, go do something. Stick with Blaine Gabbert. Stick with Chad Henne. Go ahead, finish 2 and whatever you're going to finish. You know, win 3 games, win 4. Maybe you can get Johnny Football next year. I don't know. But if you want to win games, if you want to be better than you were, he's out there. He's available for nothing. You can get him for nothing right now.
For the record, I'm riding with you. I'm your boy. I just wanted to make sure that I gave you an opportunity to answer that stuff because, to be quite honest with you, I'm tired of answering it. I don't think he can throw, but I do know that you were on point with what you said he was going to do. And I think that if people are going to call it a circus and they're going to accuse you of really contributing to it or igniting, per se, the circus, you had a right to be heard on that. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
I appreciate it.
We leave it right there.
Thank you.